Get the coolest mesh online at mesh.alfred.vip.
How goes your American Rescue Committee?
American Emergency Rescue Committee.
I saw your Miss Gold today.
And of course, with the wokeness, we can see the woman in the lead. Even the trailer had just started, but from the walking, you can see the woman leading all the men. This emasculation of men, this feminization of men, the degrading of men, are creating this new dynamic and making it look like, oh, this is right, this is what has to be. It's very unfortunate, and it only leads to weaker societies and cultures. Keep in mind that different civilizations that have tried stupid things like this before ended up falling. Great civilizations have fallen before. The American US, the US, UK, Canada alliance, that Euro-American alliance is not too big to fall, and of course the globalist one world government is creating a structure where they will rule over the countries. They are weakening and destroying countries so that they, the World Economic Forum, the UN type organizations, these Rockefeller type organizations that always have world leaders coming to them for them to educate world leaders and tell world leaders what direction to go. These organizations, they are the ones that will end up calling the shots, and it is through those kinds of organizations that the Antichrist will sit and rule all the nations.
I saw your Miss Gold today.
She's indispensable to our operation.
Miss Gold is a spoiled young lady with no clue about the real world.
Can you get this to Lionel by tomorrow morning? I have 2 more for the boat. Britain is at war. We need allies here who can operate freely in France.
Our great country takes the Jewish problem very seriously.
There's only one great country in Europe.
Of course.
We're all just trying to do the best we can.
That's what you tell yourself, so you can sleep at night.
Who said I sleep at night?
And of course, they had to put the gay angle, the LGBT people had to put their nonsense in it. And it's interesting how these people change history, the history of the wars and all of that, and incorporates their ideologies to make themselves victims everywhere. And to vilify Christians who were actually thrown to the lions and, have been persecuted. When it comes to the 3 most persecuted groups, Jews, Christians, and, Africans, that is the order, starting with, Jews, Jews, they always, there's always a move to commit genocide, to wipe out all Jews. Throughout history, it happens so frequently, where there is always one tyrant that rises up, or one person that rises up that wants to eliminate every single Jew. So that is undisputed. But we shouldn't even be trying to aspire to who is to be in the group of who is the greatest victim, or trying to know that that is the problem of things now. Everybody wants to be a victim. Look at Meghan Markle, the wife of Harry, ex-Prince Harry, always trying to tell everybody how they are victims and how their life, they have it so bad and all of that. The craziness of it all.
For permanent change, we must channel all our energy
into revolution. Yes, I know.
I am talking about fighting back.
Time for bribing gods has passed.
Now see the foolishness. Now you're putting somebody of African descent within Europe as one of the people who championed the fight against the Nazis and Adolf Hitler. When did this happen? This is how history is changing, and they also incorporate gay people. So it's like, it was gay people who fought against Hitler and won and all of that. What is all this nonsense? And this is you have to understand something. Apart from the fact that they are also changing the books in schools, the movies are where a lot of young people learn from. The ideology of a lot of young people is what is in the movies, is what is from gossip. Gossip is very powerful. Gossip may be gossip. It is based on falsities and twisting stories to make it as juicy as possible. But that is what a lot of people end up believing. And that becomes a problem when a lot of people believe the gossip or the lie, and they live their life according to it, or they vote based on the influence of the lie or the gossip. So it's a very terrible thing.
We have to take a stand.
Get out of the car!
Get out while you can.
The police are raiding the hotel.
No one here's breaking any
They're
law.
all criminal aliens, Mr. Fry.
They are refugees!
What is the difference?
Okay, so now this is also the aspect of bringing in the topic of illegal immigrant and then the refugee this thing. But this just shows to tell you a lot. This is about power. Just because the UN, the World Economic Forum, wants to destroy and fall Western civilization, and because they are truly racist, and that is the reason why there's a lot of illegal migration, because they believe that Africans are monkeys and idiots and animals. So they believe, let us flood the West with these animals and it will crush their civilization. So all these nations will have to be dependent on the World Economic Forum, the World Bank and all of that. That is the main reason. And you can see, legal migration is made difficult. It's difficult to migrate legally. The same people that are pushing for anybody who doesn't want migrants in the US, in the UK, and in Canada, all those people are racist. They do not make migration easy. They increase even the visa application fee for someone to pay for visa application in Nigeria. The price keeps increasing. For UK, Canada, and America, the prices increase. They are doing all kinds of things for people to move legally is a problem, but they are making that more difficult. But if someone shows up illegally, at their door, that is what they allow. So it creates a funnel for, human trafficking, illegal human trafficking. It creates a market for it, a very frugal market that's a number of people that will surprise you are taking advantage of, making money through a lot of illegal trafficking. And when humans are trafficked in that situation, because it is illegal, some people may end up in slavery. Some people might end up as sex slaves in a completely different country, and in a location that there's nothing they can do about it. They just put them, they have to have sex with anybody that comes out, and at the end of the day, they will kill them. All kinds of weird things are happening. Because now the only channels, it has now come to a situation that even people in Mexico are now saying that, when they see, their relatives that went the illegal routes and they are doing well in America, that why should they bother with the American visa application process that will take so many years? They just go the illegal route. So now the illegal route is now the new kind of unofficial official way to go. And all of that empowers the cartels, because keep in mind, a lot of these cartels, they are also doing their it is not like anybody that shows up they allow. They have this, they look at the person's documents and all of that, and they are getting details about the person's relatives and loved ones. And they also put them they also create situations where it's like, even after you go, you have to keep paying to the cartel, or you have to give information. There's also an initiation process. So when you have a situation where millions of people are funneled into a country, but through that funnel, people are being initiated into a gang. I mean, there are certain gangs, for example, the Latin Kings, it was built basically from prison. Through the revolving door of prison, people going, and this is one big problem with the American prison system. It creates criminals. It's a criminal manufacturing thing. People go into an American prison for committing a small crime, and they come out a bigger criminal connected to all kinds of bigger criminals, full of more knowledge and information on how to be a better and more effective criminal. That is what the American prison system does. And a lot of people who join gangs in prison. The number of people that join gangs in prison will baffle you compared to those outside prison. And that is weird, because a prison is a super monitored environment. There's nothing that happens in a prison that if the warden doesn't want to know, he won't know. There are cameras everywhere. So how come these kinds of things are happening in American prison? That is the one big issue. There are several, but that is one big issue. Why is it a place for people to become better criminals? But in any case, this migration funnel from this illegal migration funnel, because the cartels are the cartels, they'll do what they will do. It creates a situation where a lot of these people who just are illegally migrating end up being initiated into the cartel. And these are people that will now fill America and occupy. They may be future FBI agents or CIA agents when they become legal citizens eventually, which should eventually happen, no matter what anybody says. Based on how things are going, they may be called dreamers or whatever, they may be called illegals for now. But eventually, there are going to be moves that will be taken that will allow them to become legal citizens, which everybody knows. And that is also one of the things that is fueling the illegal immigration channel. And, all of that creates just a bundle of nonsense. So you can imagine all these people that were initiated into the cartel when they were doing their migration, and who the cartel members have the numbers of their relatives and the contacts, and are like saying, because most people, even after they enter, they still pay the cartel. So it's like the cartel is like, yes, you have paid this for us to transport you, for us to take you to the border, but you also have to pay more. And keep in mind that there's also the network within America of where the cartel will take people to. So what is happening in all these things? And then, of course, with the legalization of marijuana in America, then, all the other drugs, the increase in fentanyl and, heroin, all these things are being fueled. And thanks to wokeness and, Biden and Democrats and their, to build a wall is terrible. Donald Trump said build a wall. It is racist to build a wall. Let people come in. They are refugees. These people are not refugees. These people are spending money. If the legal way of transporting people was actually in place, you would see that these people will be spending less money through the official legal channels than through all these backyard channels. Because you are paying criminals. When you are paying a criminal, the criminal decides what you pay. It is not a fixed fee. The criminal can say whatever they want to say. So it is a very different thing. And it is not just one criminal. So if someone is going from, understand the routes that these people are taking. They are taking all kinds of long routes from this country to that country to this country. So they are jumping a lot of safe countries. And that does proving they are not refugees. Jumping a lot of safe countries, zigzagging left, right, and center, going through all kinds of crazy paths until they get to, America, through the backyard, through the back door. It is sad, so all of this happening, and this is all just part of a globalist plan. This is what they have decided to do, and the globalist presidents obey. It's unfortunate that people don't see how organizations like the World Economic Forum, the World Government Forum, why is there a World Government Forum? There is not a one world government. There is no official one world government, at least yet. But these people keep throwing around that word, and they already have a World Government Forum. Who voted for it? Did the people vote for it? No. But it already exists, and they are calling the shots in front of us. Look at the World Health Organization and the whole nonsense they did during the pandemic. Has anybody held them to account? Have anybody sued them, taken them to court, told them to pay all these nations a fee for the devastation that they have caused and the foolish recommendation? All the people that lost their businesses, their lives, their jobs during the lockdown, are they going to get any reparations? No, they are not getting any reparations. That is the foolishness that we see today.
I have lost everyone. You have to
And of course, they had to throw in
moving forward.
interracial relationship.
I'm doing
inside.
something truly important here.
You have to understand how difficult it would have been during that era and how unwise it would have been for an interracial relationship, in that kind of situation. And how many Africans were in Europe at that time? Then to talk about an African that will have a position of status. And keep in mind that women always look at status in men. So why would a white woman then, in that situation, want to be with an African man at that time in Europe? That would be the height of foolishness. On both sides. First of all, if he loves her, why would he want to subject her to what is going to follow? And let us understand, if she is beautiful, which in this case we see it's a beautiful female, that is now going to create a situation where a lot of people will just beat him at random. Any white person who sees him, a lot of white men who see that will just beat him at random, and it will be allowed. So how practical is it? Why would anybody go down that route? The whole thing is so stupid and unrealistic, and it goes against the kind of things that they want to push about, how racist white people, light-skinned people wear, and, like they would like to push us still now and will always be.
I have lost everyone. You have to keep moving forward. I'm doing something truly important here. Maybe for the first time in my life.
This is a new world. The old rules don't apply.
Vive la résistance.
That is so stupid. What Black Power movement was around during that era? God have mercy. In Europe. Imagine somebody doing Black Power in that Nazi situation. How long will that person last? Oh my. Oh boy. This is just so stupid. And this is what is going to be sold as truth. And people wonder why Republicans, are against CRT and against banning of books, because they are lying in these books. They are talking nonsense in these books. They are twisting history to fix their woke agenda. This whole movie, it just straight up propaganda. Netflix is one of the worst things that has, that has happened to this generation. It's going to be one of the, I'm looking at the school system. I would say the school system should be number one, because, college students in America, like, they are like the devil's children. That is the best way to classify them. It is just like Satan's dream come true. So I would say the school system, and then after the school system, Netflix. Wokeness. Woke movies. The two things that are seriously going to destroy and damage. America forever. If things continue the way they are going. That being said, make sure you check out Alfred.vip, and God bless you.
What you spread is what you get. Give your best, you get the best. Dress your best and people see the best. I'm on my parole. I'm on my parole. I'm on my parole. I'm on my parole. Parole with a suit, parole with the swag, parole with a can, parole with the stash, parole with a hat, parole with the class, parole with a stash, parole with the fast. I'm on my parole. I'm on my parole. I'm on my parole. I'm on my parole.
Say this prayer audibly if you have not given your heart to Jesus Christ. Dear God, I believe in my heart that Jesus Christ, the Son of God, came, died, and was raised from the dead to save me. I confess Him, Lord, over my life, and ask You to give me Your Holy Spirit to live within me. I receive Your Spirit by faith, and thank You for I am now born again. In Jesus' name, amen. If you just prayed that prayer, congratulations, you're now a Christian. Go to Alfred.vip and click the salvation prayer link in the main menu to get resources that will help you with your work with God. God bless you.